Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asad Yaqub and I am from Lahore, Pakistan, and I teach Ielts in Lahore. If you want to join my Ielts classes, you can contact me. Well guys, I welcome you once again to my Ielts reading video, and in today's video I am going to teach you how to deal with matching type of questions in Ielts reading section 3. Now what is matching? They give you a list of people, right, or a list of scientists or a list of something, and you have to match them with the questions. In this video I'm going to tell you what are the strategies, what are the techniques which you have to apply to deal with this type of questions. If you haven't subscribed my channel, subscribe now and click the bell icon, and in this video I am going to prove your subscription to my channel would be really great. So guys, let's take a start. Now we go to the test, and there I'm going to read the questions, I'm going to scan the passage, and I'm going to tell you how to reach the answers. Let's take a start. Alright guys, now the type of question is, look at the following statements and the list of people. This is the list of people and we got to match them. So this is called matching. Match each statement with the correct person. So list of people: Rowland Hill, Lord, Cheverton, and Tristram Hunt. Now the first thing is, let me tell you, the passage is not in question orders, but the passage is in the list order, or passage in the options order. In the passage, first you will find Rowland Hill, then you will find Lord Lichfield, then you will find Cheverton, and then you will find this one. So first thing is, go back to the passage, scan all these words and underline them wherever you find them. Now for example, when we were here, we found Rowland Hill. Okay, and then again about Hill they talk here. Then they talk about this Lord Lichfield. Okay, then again they talk about Hill. Right, and if we go on, I found Mr. Cheverton here. Okay, Mr. Cheverton is here. I found him as well, and this is also Cheverton. And let's see if there is any other. Penny Black and all that, struggle for that. And again I find Hill over here. Okay, and yeah, this is Tristram Hunt. Do we have Tristram Hunt? Yes, we do. So over here I find Tristram Hunt. Now these are the points in the passage where I have to read to find the answer. So the first thing is Rowland Hill. We already read about Rowland Hill over here, right? And if you remember that, I mean the state, it was Rowland Hill, an inventor, teacher, social reformer, and all that, who proposed workable plan. Then Hill's proposal, we read this already. Hill's proposal for the penny post, which meant any letter weighing less than half an ounce, 14 grams, could be sent anywhere in Britain for about 30p in today's money, was so radical that the Postmaster General Lord Lichfield said, what did he say? Of all the wild and visionary schemes which I ever heard of, it is the most extravagant. He says, of all the wild and visionary schemes which I ever heard of, it is most extravagant. This is what he said about it. And then Lord Lichfield spoke for an establishment not convinced of the need for poor people to post anything, right? But merchants and reformers backed Hill. They backed him. Soon the government told him to make his scheme work, and that meant inventing new type of currency. Now anyways, after keeping all these views in mind, we come back and see what did Hill say. And then there is the other guy, that is Lord Lichfield spoke. What did he say and all that. So 31, his inspiration came from a particular picture. So far there is no mention of any picture over here, right? So far, I mean, if we just read a little about him. Then he claimed that the postal system would lead the spread of information. Yes, there is one point we read about Hill, and it is about Rowland Hill, when he believed reform would ease the distribution of ideas and stimulate, distribution of ideas. Now distribution of ideas can be connected. He claimed that postal system would lead to the spread of information, distribution of ideas or spread of information, but we keep this in mind so far and we see if there is any other option for that as well. All right, okay. Then we read about this Hill and we see if there is anything about him. Alright, let's go on. He organized the creation of the first stamp. No. And by the way, now you have to keep these options in mind as well. He expressed doubts about the plans to change the postal service. He expressed doubts, wow, about the plans to change the postal service. Now see, who expressed doubts? Another tip. Wow, it's new. I just got it. Just convert he into who and you will find the answer. For example, his inspiration. Now his can be converted to whose and converted to question. Whose inspiration came from a particular picture? That is your answer. Wow guys, wow. I just invented this now. So, who claimed that the postal system would lead to the spread of information? Who claimed? Then, who organized the creation of the first stamp? Who expressed doubts about the plans to change the postal service? So, this is the best formula to do matching. Now, let's see. Lord Lichfield said, now what happened? I mean, Hill gave the proposal and Lord Lichfield said, of all the wild and visionary schemes which I ever heard of, it is most extravagant. Lord Lichfield spoke for an establishment not convinced for the need for poor people to post any letters. So who showed doubts? That is Lord Lichfield when he said, it is the most extravagant out of visionary schemes. So the question is, he expressed doubts about the plans to change the postal service. That is Lord Lichfield. So question number 34, B will be the right answer. Okay, that's right. So let's go on. I mean, we just found law, and by the way, you don't know, one person can have two statements, one person can have no statement as well, so you need to read about them all. Now again, it's about Hill, and Hill is already mentioned, so we got to read, and then Mr. Shiverton, we got to read about Mr. Shiverton as well. Hill quickly settled on a bit of paper cover at the back with a glutinous wash which he used which the user might be applying little moisture attached to the back of a letter. Stamps would be printed in sheets of 240, blah blah blah. Treasury launched a design competition open to all. Alright. Men of science and public in general. The new stamp would need to be resistant to forgery, and so it was a submission to one, a submission by one Mr. Shiverton that Hill used as the basis for one of the most striking designs in history. Now what happened? Shiverton, who worked as a sculptor and an engineer, determined that a portrait of Queen Victoria engraved for a commemorative coin when she was 15-year-old princess was detailed enough to make copying difficult and recognizable enough to make fakes easy to spot. Who said that? Actually, that was Shiverton, who worked as a sculptor and an engineer, determined that a portrait of Queen Victoria, now that was a picture, portrait of Queen Victoria engraved and all that. Now let's come back and see. His inspiration came from a picture. See that? They say his inspiration. Now, whose inspiration came from a picture? And you can see it here very clearly. Mr. Shiverton, and then they say Shiverton, who worked as a sculptor, as an engineer, determined that a portrait of Queen Victoria. So who's Shiverton? And portrait of Queen Victoria is picture. So our formula, whose inspiration came from a picture or particular picture. Particular picture means the portrait of Queen Victoria, and that is Shiverton. Option C is right one here. So for 31, C is the right answer. Alright, not bad guys, huh? Let's just go on, and we got some more questions to find. Now we are left with 31 is done, 34 is done, so we are left with 32 and 33 as well. Alright, so let's go on. Well, now we just see what are the options here, because we've almost read about him, and let's just go on and we read one more place where we found Hill. Hill and his supporters rightly predicted that cheaper post would improve the diffusion of knowledge. See, diffusion of knowledge means spread of knowledge. Diffusion means spread. So, I guess we had something. Yes, he claimed that the postal system would lead to the spread of knowledge, and over at 2 points he said that. Over here, he said distribution of ideas. He believed reform would ease the distribution of ideas, and Hill and his supporters rightly predicted that cheaper post would improve the diffusion of knowledge. Diffusion of knowledge, and here they say distribution of ideas, that is the same thing. So when they say he claimed that postal system would lead to the spread of information, this is said by Roland Hill. That's why for 32, A is the right answer. This is also done. Now we are left with one option, and that is he. Now again, instead of he, you have to put who. Who organized the creation of the first stamp? Now we got to see out of these who organized the creation of the first stamp. So now this is what we are going to find out. Okay, because you know we've read about Hill and about Tristram Hunt. A historian values the flourishing of correspondence, the following arrival of stamps while I was writing. No, they did not. They do not say anything about who organized the creation of first stamp. So we need to find out. It can be Hill or Lord Lichfield or anyone. Okay, so let's read from here. Hill quickly settled on a bit of paper covered at the back with a glutinous wash, which the user might, by applying a little moisture, attach to the back of a letter. Now see, they are saying by applying a little moisture, and we people are applying the spit on that. Okay, they said only the moisture when you breathe, so by applying a little moisture, but we started with spitting. So Hill quickly settled on a bit of paper covered at the back with a glutinous wash, with which the user might, by applying a little moisture, attach to the back of a letter. Stamps would be printed in sheets. Now they are talking about all the stamps, and they would be printed in sheets that could be cut using scissors, all right, or a knife, and perforations would not arrive until 1854. Now let's see what is the option. The question is, he organized the creation of the first stamp. That's right. Who organized? They say here very clearly, Hill quickly settled on a bit of paper. Settled means actually he organized, and this bit of paper is actually a stamp covered at the back with a glutinous wash. Now they are talking about stamp, and he actually organized. So for question number 33, who organized the creation of the first stamp? That is again Hill. So for 33, A is the answer. Now have you noticed one thing? They have used A 2 times, then they used B 1 time, then they used C 1 time, and D is not used at all. There is no statement of D. Okay, so it can be like this. And by the way, this he formula, he into who, his into whose, this can help you a lot with list of headings, a list of people. This is called matching. Thank you very much, guys. Welcome back. Now, are you clear about matching, huh? If you are not clear, watch this video again, right? So matching is very important type of questions, especially in general training reading and in academic reading. In general training reading, it usually comes in section 3. In academic reading, it might come in section 2 or section 3. So you have to be prepared for that. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed. I teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Thank you very much, guys. There's going to be another video on this. The series of these videos, you must watch that video. There is the playlist, so you can watch all the videos in sequence in the playlist. Asad Yaqub wishes you all the best. Take care. Allah Hafiz.